The, the conversation that I am interested in and the one that I've been asked to talk about is technology. And my name is Taraskwa. I work with EcoBank. I am the head of consumer banking for Anglophone West Africa. And I'm really proud to be here. This is, for me, the best online education platform we have in Ghana, West Africa, that I know of today. And I've been challenging Reverend and the team that we should own Africa. Let's own Africa before the year ends. So we want to talk about technology. I am not a graduate of technology, so I'm not going to tell you about robotics or anything fancy. But I'm going to pick up from where Paula left off, which is how technology can help you in your life. Very, very practical ideas and thoughts on how technology can help you. So today, I've cut off and I've started from what I call the 90s kids, because some of us were born in an age where you use paper, pen, and stuff like that. Now, what you call the 90s kid is mostly online. So when I look at you, most of you are almost always online. You spend about 7.5 hours of your day online. And 60% of that is on social media. So if I asked, how many people have a Facebook account? Show by hands. Nice. How many of you are on Instagram? Again. Okay. How many of you are on Snapchat? Again. So, the question is, are you doing your best with the time you are spending online? And Paula alluded to that. So, what I'm going to do is to try and talk to you about other things outside of Facebook, Snapchat, WhatsApp, and all that, but things that can help you in your daily lives. So, I'm going first of all to something called Coursera. How many of you have used this? Brilliant. Nice. That's good. Now, Coursera gives you access to education all over the world for free. There are over 2,000 courses on Coursera, and coming from top schools across the world, including Stanford and the like. So you have 7.5 hours that you are spending online. 7.5 hours that you are spending online. You should make sure that part of that is being spent on Coursera and doing the things that Paula spoke about as a young person. And there are all sorts of things on Coursera. So any challenge that you have, go there. And my expectation is that you make note of all these things so that you begin to search for them. Okay? When you are done, it gives you a certificate. And the courses run from 4 to 6 weeks. So it's not taking a whole lot of your life away. All right? Because it's online, you can connect to other people and actually pose your challenges to them across the world. So rather than searching on Facebook for people who you can just chat with and date and all that online, spend some time sharing knowledge with people online. Okay. The next thing I'm going to talk about is something called Canva app. How many of you have come across that? Almost nobody. Okay. So this is for those of you who are interested in web designing. So you can do simple things like flyers, a few infographs. You can actually do some Facebook ads. So it's not like things like Facebook and WhatsApp and Instagram are not good. But when you go on there, you should also be driving your business and your personal development on those channels. So if you're selling a product and you're on Facebook, you can actually use Canva app to design your ad and put it on Facebook. Okay? The next one is one of my personal favorites. For those of you who are working in corporate world or who have your own business running, or actually who are responsible for certain family projects. Trello is a project management tool, very simple, and it's also on the Play Store. So you can go in there, you can add all the people who are involved in the project, you can assign tasks, you can follow progress, and people can update Trello. One of my personal favorites, because I'm not a very organized person. So some of the features: syncs access to all your mobile devices, so you have a tablet, you have a phone, and real-time collaboration, meaning you can be updating, your daddy can be updating, your wife can be updating, your husband can be updating. Before I move on to the next, I realized that the age groups are a bit different. There's something called iExcel, which is also for kids. And it's also a bit like Coursera. It also has learning material available. So kids can go in there and be able to learn across subjects. It's a virtual classroom. So take advantage of that and also educate yourself. So again, another one that is for those of you who've started using Excel and a few other things in your regular life or in your work life. Google has what we call Google Sheets. Also has real-time collaboration. Different people working on a project can basically update at different times, different portions of this Excel sheet. It's free to use. Again, it's synced across all your mobile devices. So as I go through these things, I'm asking you to take note of it, experience it, use it, and become skilled in it. So this is really the end of my, let me call it my PowerPoint presentation, because I didn't want to flood you with too many things. But the point of it is, there are so many different things that are available digitally to help change your life. And I'm going to pick a few areas and we will continue this conversation. Now, obviously, I work with EcoBank, so I'm going to talk about finance and banking and all that. And I think when Paula worked up, she also talked about us being from a different era and how stealing was where you break into somebody's home and all that. Remember that there was a time when banking, financial transactions were one direction, one dimension. You walk into a banking hall, you open a bank account. Anytime you want to deposit money or withdraw money, you go back to the bank and you do just that. We have evolved. My brother from MTN, Richard, spoke about mobile money. How many of you have mobile money wallets? Okay. How many of you have bank accounts? Nice. My work is easy. So, EcoBank has led the way in ensuring that you can do your banking on your mobile phone. So just like I mentioned Trello, I mentioned Coursera, I mentioned iExcel, we have the EcoBank mobile app that enables you to start your journey in banking by opening a bank account right there on your mobile phone. And it continues. You can transfer money, you can move money to mobile wallets, you can do all sorts of, you can actually block your card. So assuming you have a debit card and you had an issue with it, you can block it right there on your phone. You can add your bank card from another bank to the app so you can continue to transact. So you've already been told to download the app, open an account if you don't have an EcoBank account, or attach your card if you are with another bank. Now, when you do that, you'd want to do stuff with an account that is purely on your mobile phone. So you'd like to shop. You'd like to do other things. Now, hitherto, a few years ago, if you wanted to shop, you had to go to the market or you had to go to a supermarket or something physically. Today in Ghana, you don't have to. You don't have to. There are sites like Market Express. There's Jumia Foods. There are all these sites that you can, in the comfort of your home or your office or whatever, you can actually shop for banche, for bodier, for intos, for everything. And it will be delivered right to your doorstep. And of course, you would have opportunity to pay digitally with some of the tools that EcoBank, financial institutions like EcoBank will offer you. Today, our dear Electricity Corporation of Ghana has launched its online app. Do you know that? So today, you do not need, well, not everybody, but you do not need necessarily to go to the ECG pay point to buy your electricity. Travel, how do we get around? We've moved from walking, running, to donkeys, horses, vehicles. And when you come to vehicles, there was a time when you had to go somewhere. You had to walk to the station and then board the bus or the taxi or whatever transportation that you required. Today, what do you do? What do you do? That's powerful. Uber. Now, do you know that there are Ghanaian options around? Can anybody name some of them? Yenko Taxi. I like this. So, you see, I didn't really have to do this. But the problem is, are you using these things? So when somebody talks to you about EcoBank mobile app, you think, oh, it's one of those things that I came to Springboard and I'm spoken to about, and yes, I have knowledge, I store it. That knowledge is useless until you use it. You actually go ahead and use that knowledge in downloading the app, opening a bank account, managing your finances, going to pay points and paying with your mobile phone rather than counting cash. So, I also remember that there's been a lot of jokes in Ghana about trying to get directions from somebody when you are going somewhere. Oh, Udu Diakesi Enohua, Blue Kiosk, all this and that. Now, remember, I think the Ghana Post GPS, when it was launched, the TV ad had a caption called "Jack, where are you?" which said, stop doing that and download the Ghana Post GPS so that you will be able to digitally find where you're going. Now, remember that before this, you could actually simply go to Google Maps and put your location, Calvary, Charismatic, and you would be given the directions and you would eventually get to your destination. Back in the day when I was in school, when you had my girlfriend, the boyfriend, you had to write letters. And there will be times when it's Val's Day or whatever it is that people enjoy these days. Everybody sitting around. Will you get a card? Will you get a letter? Will somebody have written to you? And trust me, it was a big deal if you didn't get a card on your birthday from somebody who claims to care about you, or once in a while, you didn't get a letter written on a sheet that was pink or purple with some flowers in the corner. And people made an art of finding the nicest of those so they can write letters on them. Some of you have never seen it. And some of you will never see it. Because you've got WhatsApp, Facebook, you've got all these electronic channels that help you to send your message across. Most families I know today have a WhatsApp group. Does your family have a WhatsApp group? Thank you. So, I am wrapping up now. What I want to say is, your mobile phone gives you a tool, a channel, to deliver everything that Paula talked about. It depends on your perspective and the tools you are using. If you stay 60% of the time on Snapchat, taking selfies, doing all sorts of things, life will pass you by. If you want to put the things Paula has taught you in action, pick up some of the tools I've spoken about and actually start asking yourself the question. The first thing she said is, what's your vision? Start from that point and start asking yourself, how do these tools enable me to realize that vision Paula spoke about? I am not a technology person. I had to do this by getting onto my digital devices and doing some research. Do you really believe I have used every single one of these things? No. So I had to do that. So I have learned something from getting onto my digital device and doing some research to be able to be here. I don't have a degree in technology. I don't have a degree in banking. But I work with the largest bank in Ghana and Africa in 34 countries. And I am responsible for 5 countries out of them. So, thank you. So, that vision you have for yourself, as Paula explained, that vision, you do not need to necessarily have sat in a classroom to be like an engineer or something, or have all the fancy degrees to be able to realize that vision. It is at your fingertips. It is whether you are going to spend 60% crafting a selfie and editing it and sending it to the world, or whether you use one of the tools to better yourself. Choose smartly. Thank you.